June 26, 2011. Murder of Lauren Giddings, Macon, Georgia, U.S. Lauren Giddings spent the summer after she graduated from law school preparing for perhaps the most important test she would ever take, the Georgia bar exam. But her neighbor and classmate, Stephen McDaniel, had other plans. On June 26, 2011, McDaniel killed and dismembered 27-year-old Giddings. On June 29th, the friends and fellow classmates of Lauren Giddings grew worried because they hadn't been able to reach her in several days. Though it wasn't unusual for the law school graduate to be sparsely available as she studied for the bar exam, too many days passed without seeing or hearing from her. So a friend with a spare key to her apartment checked inside, only to find it empty. After talking to each other and contacting members of Giddings' family, the friends determined that nobody had seen or spoken to Lauren since June 27th. Giddings' sister Caitlin immediately contacted the Macon Police Department, and by June 30th, her father had driven from Maryland to Georgia to file a missing persons report. The police descended upon Giddings' apartment complex. When police sprayed luminol in the bathroom, the walls, floor, and bathtub lit up. They were no longer investigating a missing person case. This was the scene of a homicide. Police quickly taped off the crime scene and began searching the perimeter of the building. They were soon hit with a potent smell coming from the trash cans. One of the detectives on the case later told, "While we were standing there, the wind started to turn. Immediately, I smelled an odor that I was very familiar with. We all smell things in life that smell bad, and that of a body or a decomposing body is one of the worst things you'll smell. But it has a very distinctive smell. Inside the trash can was Lauren Giddings' torso wrapped in a plastic sheet. They did not find the head, legs, or arms in either one of the trash cans," the detective continued. "I had never seen anything like that before. Who could have done this? Because truthfully, only a monster could do something like that. It was absolutely horrible." When Giddings' body was discovered, the Mercer University and greater Macon community reeled from her loss. But few stood out like fellow law student graduate Stephen McDaniel. The frizzy-haired young man was known by his classmates as an odd but mild-mannered university graduate. Like many in the apartment complex, he joined in the search for Lauren, assisting search groups who looked around the school, and even going in her apartment with her friend who had a key. As her neighbor and classmate, McDaniel considered himself to be a good friend of Giddings, and he would share his concerns about her absence in an interview with a local reporter from WGXA on the day that parts of her body was found. The dramatic twist during the interview, McDaniel didn't know that police had discovered Lauren's torso, and only learned of this development when told by a reporter while on camera. In the video, you can see McDaniel's emotional reactions in real time.
Lauren was my neighbor. We're just trying to find out where she is at this point. I mean, no one has seen her since Saturday. I mean, the last time anyone heard from her was an email that she sent out, and no one's heard from her since.
Did you see her hang out with anyone at the time, anything like that?
I mean, no one has seen her since Saturday. I haven't seen anything. I mean, you always hear noise outside, but it's just people walking by pretty much.
And she just recently...
Some may have watched McDaniel's initial television interview and thought they were looking at a young man shocked by the confirmation that his classmate had been brutally murdered. But investigators saw something entirely different. They saw an inexperienced killer, realizing that his plan to hide the evidence of his brutal crime was swiftly unraveling.
Where she is, I mean, the only thing we can think is that maybe she went out running and someone snatched her. Because, I mean, we went over, one of her friends had a key, we went inside and tried to see if there was anything amiss, but, I mean, she had a door jammed.
And now, he finds out that the body has been found while he is in front of the camera. Watch carefully.
Just don't know where she is.
What about in the parking lot area? I know they've been doing a lot of. I think that's where they have recovered the body or whatever they recovered from there.
Body?
Had you heard any? Had you seen anything there? Had you seen anything there? I mean, we don't know if this is the same person. You know what I mean? Like, they took out a body there earlier. We don't know if it's the same person or not. So that's how we're trying to ask people if they know who lived there. Are you okay, sir?
I think I need to sit down.
Okay.
When investigators canvassed the area to speak with Giddings' neighbors, all were eager to clear their names by allowing officers to search their apartments, with the exception of McDaniel. This raised suspicions about him. However, investigators acknowledged that, as a law student, he would have been well aware of his right to deny a warrantless search. But after pressure from investigators, he eventually relented, and police came across something interesting. Among McDaniel's belongings, officers found a master key, able to open any room in his small apartment complex. When pressed for an explanation for why he had a master key, McDaniel admitted to previously entering 2 neighbors' apartments and stealing condoms. This admission gave officers grounds to arrest McDaniel on a burglary charge, giving them the opportunity to speak to him under detention. Though McDaniel was happy to talk at length with reporters, when sat across from his interrogators, he entirely shut down, maintaining that he had nothing to do with Lauren's murder. A more thorough search of Stephen McDaniel's apartment turned up packaging for a hacksaw, several flash drives, and a pair of underwear that was later discovered to have Lauren Giddings' DNA on it. The flash drives contained pornographic images of children. In the laundry room of the complex, police found a hacksaw that matched the packaging found in McDaniel's apartment, along with a bloody sheet. Testing later confirmed the blood was Giddings'. On August 2nd, 2011, Stephen McDaniel was charged with the murder of Lauren Giddings. He was later charged with 7 counts of child sexual exploitation as well. Let's go back a little. Lauren Giddings had previously mentioned to her sister that something seemed strange about her apartment. She felt things had been moved around. Someone had been in her apartment, Wheeler said. Investigators found that Giddings sent her last email on the evening of June 25th to her boyfriend, David Vandiver. Vandiver was on a golf trip in California, and Giddings mentioned that she thought someone had tried to break into her apartment on the night of Thursday, June 23rd. However, Giddings downplayed the situation, saying it was probably just Macon hoodlums. But Giddings' feelings had been justified. A memory card taken from McDaniel's apartment revealed that he'd been stalking her. In the early morning hours of June 26, 2011, Stephen McDaniel detailed in his confession he had used his master key to enter Giddings' apartment. He watched her sleep for a while, but as he moved toward her, a creak in the bed woke her up. She saw him and yelled, "Get out!" McDaniel then jumped on top of her, grabbing her throat. Though she fought hard, he had soon strangled her to death. He dragged her body to the bathroom and returned home. The next night, he returned with the hacksaw and dismembered her body. He then placed her limbs in various trash cans throughout the area. If the police had not been called to the scene when they were, trash collection services would have emptied the can where Giddings' torso was located, and the case may have gone cold. What do you think? Did McDaniel plan this murder, or did he do it because of his psychological problems? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.